It's executed?
When was it? 2020.
2020?
Yes.
Just 1 year before this framework agreement.
Yeah.
And Governor, you see, this is what brings confusion.
Yeah.
Because if you don't own the system, you are saying it is given to us for free. Your submission was that we don't pay anyone for anything.
As of now, we don't.
Is there a service fee on that USSD?
There's a service fee on the USSD. I'm saying Nairobi County does not pay a commission.
Well, just a minute.
Agency.
Where does that service fee go to?
The provider of the USSD service. Who is it? Tilly.
Yeah, Tilly.
Yeah, the provider of the SMS. You get OTP prompts. The provider gets that amount. Which is.
Who's that person?
Give them the details. Yeah. Let them give the specific company.
Chair, maybe if I differentiate between the system and USSD. USSD is hosted by what are called premium rate service providers, who are normally contracted by, who actually now get this from Safaricom and actually CA. So there's a premium rate service provider who hosts our USSD, which then we connect to the system. This is a separate issue from the system, the hosting of the USSD. So we pay Tilil Technologies, which is a company that has approvals from ICTA on hosting and CA on hosting. So those are the people who provide us USSD services.
Now, the governor talks of a TechnoBrain contract, and I think that's important for us. It's very important disclosure. If something was executed with TechnoBrain in 2020, and then in 2021 there was this agreement with the national government, why would you still pursue the TechnoBrain arrangement? I mean, yesterday the president dropped the Adani deals.
Adani deal have not gotten to the commitment stage.
So
and
if there was a commitment in 2020, why then was there this other commitment in 2021?
Chair, leave alone that. There was even revenue share by NBK at the same time that have created liabilities to the city. That's why he became governor. It was so confused in Nairobi County.
But despite that, you're saying you still have to fulfill the TechnoBrain contract.
We do. We'll have a serious liability not to. The negotiations now are looking at the specific modules. Some of them are fleet management for our garbage vehicles and for the general fleet of Nairobi.
So what do we use that TechnoBrain system for?
It is being developed. It's still being developed. We've not finished paying for it.
But we are paying for it.
Yes, we're paying. I think just recently we've paid, or we had to pay around 100 million.
What would it do that this Ministry of ICT system can't do?
Thank you, Chairman. The Ministry ICT system is a revenue management platform. The contract that was signed with TechnoBrain is an ERP. So it has different modules. It has case management that the legal people will use to manage their litigation and cases in court and monitor and so on. It has a fleet management system that the people in transport will use, the transport people will use for vehicles and so on. It has a HR management module. All those modules that you find in an ordinary ERP are in the TechnoBrain ERP.
Does it have a revenue collection platform?
So the TechnoBrain arrangement had a revenue module as well. And so we told them if we manage to get to use these government developed ones, could we have a conversation about varying the contract so that the cost of developing that revenue model, should we decide not to proceed, can you develop another service that we require? And they were open to that. So we formed a technical team that has been negotiating. However, Chair, I must point out that we have not yet made the final decision to drop the issue of the revenue module.
So that particular module is definitely not value for money because you already have an existing solution.
And this one is also run by factors that are beyond our control, this one. So TechnoBrain would be our product.
Yeah, and the governor has expressed an intention of using a system that we own.
I'd want that, yeah.
So there is no intention to terminate or to vary the contract in the terms in which Kerich is speaking.
It's an ongoing discussion. They're developing module by module. Right now they're finalizing the fleet management.
Chair will request the governor, in addition to the missing pages on this integrated county revenue management system agreement, to also provide us with the agreement on the development of the ERP, so that we get clarity on the terms of that contract as well.
Yeah, I think that can be that would be extremely important for us to render our report. Senator Chirake.
Governor, I can see hosting arrangements. You have said in your response that development, test, production, and disaster recovery are hosted by Ministry of Information and the ICT Ministry. So, does it mean that when the revenue is collected from various streams, before they are swept into the CRF, who has a view? Is it you or the Ministry of Information and Technology? Because I can see in your response everything in terms of development, test, production, even disaster recovery, environment. Who has the view at the first instance? Is it you or the Ministry of ICT? And from how many streams are they sweeping, having in mind the receiver of revenue that there is a new Act of Facility Improvements Act that was given, and I've seen you have been designated for 2 financial years in the appointment letter by CCM Kerich.
Thank you, Chair. The way the software as a service model works is that for a system, you get the instance of that system. And that is why it is possible, the system being hosted in the same place, to even be given to 40 counties. But what the system does, it is revenue management. The collection of revenue is still done within the county bank accounts and M-Pesa. When today,
what I'm asking, you don't need to lecture. What I want the view is who has the first instance view of the collection before being swept to the CRF.
Sorry, Chair. What is a first instance view?
As in, who has a view when the streams are being paid?
We have a view.
You can tell us what you have collected now?
Right now. I can show you.
Can we see it?
I can, just anyone, all of us can see. I can tell you how much.
As also, and then my next, because you say the person who hosts is the Ministry of ICT, does the ministry which hosts, including recovery, have a view of that payment?
No, Chair. The ministry does not have that view.
But from the agreement, it is something different. The annexures you have attached.
Development
means the recovery.
Recovery.
So which means when you have a problem, there is a downtime or a problem with the system, the person you approach for recovery is the Ministry of ICT. Am I right or wrong? Because that's the response of the government.
That's disaster recovery, Chair. But anyway, tell us.
Chair, there's got a big difference between the physical infrastructure and access to the system. When you access the system, that is when you can...
So you are saying you have exclusive access to the system, no any other user can access the system?
Chair, the only persons who can access the system are the Nairobi City County users and the developers.
How many do you have users that can access?
I would say around 600 Nairobi City County users.
600? 600 users can access?
Yeah, to view. Yeah. You need your revenue officer in Korogosho to see how much is coming in from the slaughterhouse. Because they have to report on their performance every day. If the target is 100,000, you need to know what you collected yesterday, how much is coming in today.
By what time in a day?
It's real time.
By 5?
It's a real time.
As in, how do they know they have collected their target? At what time of the day?
Even in, it's real time.
Even midnight?
Real time is all the time.
So all the time it is real time. You know, you are paying these people 24 hours. I thought they work from 8 to 5 p.m.
I mean, you pay people 8 to 5, but they can open their email at night. Isn't it? Or does your email close at 5 p.m.?
But Governor, you are telling us you could not sign some documents because it was past business working hours.
I think you're digressing.
I'm not digressing. You are out of order, Governor. You cannot be claiming that you work 24 hours. Then you say, no,
I don't know if you got the question he's asking. He's asking if the staff can see after 5 p.m. Of course. It's the same way you can see your email any time of the day.
You know,
Governor, you are now beginning to behave like Mutuse.
Yes.
Are you with us?
No, I think.
Chair, I think you have not heard what he's asking.
You are not with
Then
us.
why are you answering something
Senator
if you have not known what you are asking? My question was
It's a
very
wrong
simple.
question, yeah.
You have said
Yes.
that somebody in Korogosho should know their target. I'm asking at what point? Because if you are saying if it is 100,000 target collection per day, how will they know? At what time do they know?
If you have access to a system, you can look at it at any time. It is not shut down.
So if you are collecting from
Somebody
traders,
can pay parking at 1 a.m.
I agree.
or housing rent at any time.
I'm asking, is there a business that close by 8 or by 5 in the evening?
And
So does it have target, a specific target? You're saying you need to collect by this time, the amount that you have given your revenue collection officers?
I don't
Governor,
understand
it
that
should be a
question.
simple yes or no.
No, it's not a yes or no, because he's asking whether they can see at any time the collection. I told him it's real time. Real time means 24/7. If somebody pays parking at
Governor,
2
can I rephrase
a.m.,
the question?
they can be able to see. Yes.
So you give a target as per 24 hours.
Yes.
So you tell somebody in revenue collector in Korogosho that collect 100,000 within 24 hours.
Yeah.
So if they collect more,
Good for them.
not for the county.
If they collect more revenue, for all revenues comes into a system. There's no. That's what I explained earlier. There's no cash payment in Nairobi.
My second question was, how many revenue streams does this system accommodate?
All of the revenue streams are 100.
How many?
How many?
Your ROR is there.
141 revenue streams.
141 revenue streams.
Yes.
Even
And
though
all of
the-
them come
the
24 hours.
The contract captures 130 something streams.
Yes.
Well,
That's why I was coming to. Thank you, Chair, for that information.
we are covering
Was
141.
that further customization?
Further customization, you see, with the system, there are iterations every other day. There's development. That's why you have Microsoft version 1, version 1.2, 1.3.
But you have not attached your addendum on that extra.
You can't do an addendum on every iteration of a contract.
No, but I'm saying the fact that you signed for something with 130 and then you are now having 141 streams. Chair, isn't that not interesting?
Yeah, because one of the reports then would be having the wrong number.
Yeah, the wrong number.
But since the Auditor General is going to do a
System
proper
audit.
system audit, I think it would be very important that we confirm that the streams, whether the 140 or 130, are automated and there's actual collection. They are not just automated in theory, but collection is being done through those automated streams.
Chair, my last question. I have seen in Jambo Pay and other Web Tribe and others, they charge agency fee as percentage. I asked Senator Sifuna was asking about service fee to the Ministry of ICT. Do they charge you any agency fee and on which percentage?
Not currently. We are
Not
now,
anything?
Not currently.
Not currently.
Because we remember the philosophy then was for us to entirely own the system. As we speak, there's an intention from them for the continuous development to have a nominal fee attached to it. That negotiation is going on. The contract is with the Solicitor General.
So they underwrote the system development costs.
Yes,
and the
more or less.
licensing costs.
Yeah, and the licensing. And so now for software as a service, they intend to bring in now the percentage.
You know, I personally, as someone with some knowledge in this domain, in my view, this is the right model. A software as a service approach, it's a right model. We are having chaos, each county wanting to develop its own system. And the average cost of development of these systems or acquisition is about 50 million. So 50 times 47, you've got 2 billion Kenya shillings that is being spent on acquisition of systems. ICT, the trend is towards ICT as a shared service. And so the Ministry of ICT could build this capability and rent it out to counties, software as a service model. This, in my view, would be the most efficient approach. Of course, as a county, you can acquire an ERP. I support that because county governments don't have a human resource management platform. Many county governments, the workflows are not automated. So if TechnoBrain was to provide an ERP, then I think that's fair enough. As long as they are not duplicating a service that can be provided at a lower cost by the national government. And I'll be very keen to study this model. And maybe we call the National Treasury, call KRA, and that team that was developing another system, and ask them, why can't we just use this that has already been developed by the Ministry of ICT and use it as the base and roll it out to counties?
Yeah, I agree with you. First of all, it's very difficult to argue with you on technology because you're distinguished in that field. The point is, the resistance by many counties is based on their functional, the constitutional functions. And, they feel, look, this is our function in the 4th schedule. It is chapter 12 in terms of what counties raise. No county, or rather other counties, do not want to yield that to the national government because we've had run-ins with the KRA trying to tax on-source revenue. No, you can't tax the revenue that we're raising. They have sent bills, they have sent agency notices to many counties and explain to them, you cannot tax revenue from the counties the same way you're not taxing your own revenue. You can't put VAT on taxes that are, it's like double taxation. And so many counties feel like then if you yield this to the other level of government and not through a transfer in 187, then they will keep that money at source. Then number two, many counties already have contractual obligations that run into years, whether it is Jumbo Pay or whichever other provider. And so what happens to those running contractual? That's why it got into headwinds. But I agree with you. A standardized model and system looking at economies of scale would be good for counties. If counties can collectively do it together, the better. Then you leave the neatness of institutional, responsibilities. But the role of collecting the taxes that counties have been given remains with the counties.
Definitely. That's why you have your officers, you've got your revenue board.
Yeah.
It does not take it away from you.
Yeah.
And after all, IFMIS is a centralized system. I've not heard counties complain about it. IPPD is a centralized system. Life Forms was a national government system. The only place where governors draw the line is when it comes to revenue collection systems. Because we have seen cases, even in the past, in Nairobi. One of the conversations, meeting I chaired, Senator Dulo was there, was with regards to the role of WebTribe and how opaque the operations were at some point in Nairobi City County. But if we built centralized competencies at a national government level, software as a service means whatever you're accessing cannot be accessed by Machakos, cannot be accessed by Kitui.
Yes.
In fact, you can have your own customizations as a county. It does not mean that Homa Bay will be seeing Nairobi Pay. They'll be seeing Homa Bay Pay. Yeah, so I think I would really want to drive conversation around this. And I hope that you are not planning to migrate from this, because I hear you say you want to have your system.
But yeah, I see where you're going.
This is the best framework for county governments.
And I want to thank you in advance for you about to commend me for using this as a service. I thank you in advance because I have not insisted on our own. There are some things that, of course, as a county, we want to maintain control of. Initially when you got in, and you'd ask for something, and the person you ask has to get permission elsewhere and reports to somebody else. I said, I will not take that. I'm the governor of Nairobi. I'm the CEO. If I ask for a module to be created, you create it. Yeah, because I'm accountable to the people of Nairobi. And until they change that thinking, and now we're completely, in charge of any development, any iteration, any amendment, then governors will be comfortable. And that's why I'm very comfortable with it.
All you need is an SLA.
A service level agreement.
Yeah, a service level agreement.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with the ministry charging a fee. Because when you want a customization, if you have an SLA, then they can have some geeks there who can respond within the timelines agreed in the SLA.
We have a huge development team, actually amazing young men and women, around 60. Why I would not want other counties is that I don't want to lose any of them. Of course, they can increase that capacity. You know how software engineers are. And they've really helped us. I must attribute our success in revenue collection on top of just to my staff, but to that development team. They have been, and I know our system sometimes has downtime, sometimes, it hangs, etc. It is being strengthened. But I take your advice.
Clark, let's schedule, we must call the Ministry of ICT to just get further information about this system. Senator Dulo, sorry, I've kept you on the line.
I have a couple of questions to Governor Sakaja. Number one, how do you ensure that this system is safe so that there is no tampering as far as the running of the system is concerned? Number two, has this improved your revenue collection and also curbed the issues of corruption in exchange for cash? Number three, is this system better than the one that you had before, Jumbo and the rest? Number four, we are being told by so many governors who are actually doing the manual collection up to now that Treasury is working on a system that is accommodated across all the counties. We are trying to tell them no, but they are still insisting. We are waiting Treasury to give us go ahead. So is there anything like that you have discussed at the Council of Governors level? Finally, will you prescribe this particular system to other counties? Because you have tested it, you have proved it that it is improving revenue collection, and it's something that can help this country as far as revenue collection is concerned and also management of the system. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. I'll take the last three and have Taras deal with the security issue in terms of administrative, admin rights, etc., and access and firewalls, all of that. Number two was, has this improved revenue collection? Yes. The customizability of it and flexibility, number one, is what enabled us on the 1st of January this year. You know, I was in City Hall while people were still in holiday. And I said, we must move to UBP, which is a unified business permit, where all 6 licenses, whether it is fire, pest control, advertising, etc., were moved into one license, helped us record the highest amount on UBP ever. Due to this, we've been able to now hit shy of 13 billion, and this year we aim to hit the 20. I know we're going to do it, because of when you make everything cashless, then everything comes in. Now, the component that we are focusing on a bit more now is enforcement and compliance. Remember, with the cashless and digital unified business permit, there's self-declaration. And so a business somewhere in Utawala will be able to declare that I am this size of a business, this is what I'm doing, and they go through the module on Nairobi services.go.ke, and they describe their business, and they print out their license themselves and hang it. Now, once that is done, I said we have one team, not different teams, one team that then will come to verify whether you underpaid or overpaid. Of course, very few people overpay, mainly underpay, and then now we bridge that gap. So it has tremendously improved our revenue collection, that I must say. And I would recommend it to all the counties. Of course, as any system, it has its challenges, which we keep building and keep strengthening. Sometimes you'll find downtime because of internet. That is not the system. You know, that is our, environment, the ICT environment that we're strengthening. Our data center at City Hall. Remember, our data center was set up in 2013, and it was not used for close to 10 years. So when I get there and I want to start using it properly, the equipment is end of life, And so, and Chairman, you understand what that means. You have huge servers and whatnot that are coming to end of life. And so we are still in discussions to the same support, that was World Bank support, to revamp that data center. So I would definitely recommend it to all other governors. It's better than what we've had before. It is better than WebTribe. It is better than Revenue Sure. It is better than the others deployed. And you know why? When you have a government system,